is going to be Gajananam. So maybe you saw on the WhatsApp group that I shared this little description on there and a translation of the Gajananam. It's traditional prayer to chant before class. And many of you know it already, but we're going to go through it again and just consolidate the mantra for those of you it's new to. We do it one verse at a time. First verse, Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. I prostrate myself to the lotus feet of Lord Ganesha, the son of Uma. This is Uma in the corner here, who is the consort of Lord Shiva. Also known as Parvati. Uma and Parvati, same person. I prostrate myself to the lotus feet of Vigneshwara, which is another name of Ganesha, the son of Uma, the cause of the destruction of sorrows, who is served by the host of angels, who has the face of an elephant, who partakes of the essence of kapita and jambu fruits. This is Lord Ganesha. Inhale deeply for Om. 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 Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Together. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam. Kapita Jambo Palasara Bhakshitam. Om Asutam Shoka Vinashakaranam. Namami Vigneshvara Pada Pankajam. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, bow your head. Offer your practice to say today to some being who's guided you in your spiritual life, human being, an animal being, or a nature being. Visualize and dedicate your practice to them. Namaste. These traditional prayers usually start with a salutation to Ganesha, because Ganesha is a remover of obstacles on the spiritual path, the embodiment of strength and wisdom. And we are studying this Yoganjalisaram by Tirumali Krishnamacharya. And we're on Sloka verse 17. Never condemn your parents. Always reject unsuitable company. O devoted one, respect the wise and always stay with good company. Never condemn your parents. Always reject unsuitable company. O devoted one, respect the wise and always stay with good company. Commentary by Desikachar, Krishnamacharya's son. In this verse, Krishnamacharya cautions us about actions that create conflicts or disturbances in the mind. He advises us to adopt a respectful attitude to one's parents, regardless of the flaws they may have or the nature of their actions. According to our ancient teachings, we owe a debt of gratitude to our parents, and the fulfilling of this constitutes one of the 5 great offerings that one is ordained to perform, and these offerings are called the Pancha Maha Yajna. So, in the yoga tradition and in Indian culture, the idea of reverence for those who gave you life is important. And the word yajna, it means make an offering to show respect. So an offering of respect to parents. Now, it doesn't really matter about the relationship to your parents. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad or an indifferent relationship, or even if you never knew your parents. But in the yogic tradition, the parents gave you a human birth. And that is something to be honored and respected from a yogic point of view, because a human birth is the highest birth. It's the only incarnation in which you can evolve spiritually and move towards an enlightened state of being. So if you're reincarnated as a wild boar, you don't get that opportunity. But you show respect to your parents because they've given you this human body. And then there are other pancha, they're called the Pancha Maha Yajnas. So pancha, it means 5, the number 5. Maha means great, and yajna means offering. So the 5 great offerings, which they're kind of like ideas, they're like showing gratitude, what it really is. And these 5 things are, the first one is called Brahma. Brahma, we know, is the creator, but it also represents learning. So teachers, rishis, sages, guides, like we did at the beginning, something in this world that helps to lift you spiritually and helps to make you hopefully wiser. And also guides you on a path, because we're all on a path as yogis. So that's the first vow. And then the second is Deva Yajna, which means to worship the gods. So some form of the divine is important for you. However that form manifests is very personal to you. But it's essential to have something kind of like, which represents the supreme reality in some way, which you worship. Something that you bow down to. Something that you bow down really, really low to. In other words, so it's not all about you. Do you know what I'm saying? No? It's the idea of worship. So on the altar, one of the things you'll see, there's all kinds of deities, all things of sort of things you can worship, but there's also a mirror. Yeah? Because the idea of something you worship is that it reflects back to you your own true nature. That's the purpose of worship. There's a very nice story about a teacher that I like called Michael Stone, who's unfortunately no longer with us. He died too young. And he tells this story about being in a monastery in Japan. He was a Buddhist. And he's in this Buddhist monastery in the mountains in Japan, and he wants to go, as he would call it, the restroom, to the toilet. So he's looking for the toilet, and he finds a monk, and he says, "Can you show me the way to the restroom?" And he says, "Go down these steps," and he takes this really winding route down the side of the monastery, down the mountain, and eventually goes through this doorway and into this room. And when he gets into the room is full of skulls and bones. It's the place that's the repository for the bones and the skulls of the monks who have been living for hundreds and hundreds of years in this monastery, who have passed and left their bodies. And so at the end of this long room full of bones and skeletons, there's an altar. And he walks towards the altar. And when he gets to the altar, there's often, you have this in Buddhist temples, there's a kind of cloth hanging over the altar. And to see the altar, you have to lift the cloth up. And so he bows down low, and he gets hold of the cloth and he lifts it up. And there's a mirror. And he sees his own reflection. Do you get it? He's in a room full of dead people. And he never did find the restroom. Okay, so worshipping the gods is important in some form. And then the Bhuta Yajna. This means the worship of things in nature: animals, birds, insects, plants, trees, rivers, nature, mountains, the stars. Everything in nature you worship. Everything in nature you offer to, because you are made of that. You are made of the elements. And the next thing you worship is elements. And the elements are called Bhuta. So the Bhutas, you remember we chant this when we chant the Om Bhuvasvaha, the Gayatri mantra. The Bhuta Agnis are the elements of which the earth, the water, the fire, the ether, the space, the elements which make up the whole universe and which make up you. So you are essentially soil, which has been manifested into plants, and the plants have then been eaten by you, and so you come from the earth. You are a manifestation of the elements of the earth. And so one of the things you pay respect to is the earth elements. Yeah? You with me so far? And then the final one is, we've done pretty ancestors. There's one more, ancestors and parents we've talked about. So it's also not just your immediate parents, but your ancestors. It's the reason you're here. And then finally, the Manusha Yajna is all other human beings. So you pay respect to the animals and the plants, and then you pay respect to all other humans who you see as a reflection of your own self. I mean, that's quite a nice way to live. Showing gratitude for all that every day when you perform your own little spiritual practice. Something to think about. It makes a change from thinking about, if I get this done quickly, I can go and have a coffee. Namaste. Really, all that stuff is about showing gratitude for what we have, where we live, the beautiful world that we share, our bodies, being grateful for your body, interconnectedness. Down into Tadasana. Stagger yourselves a little bit on your mats. Bring your toes together and your heels slightly apart. And then stand up tall. Roll your shoulders back and down. Roll your chest up and bring your chin down. Gaze into the center of your chest towards your heart level, the prana stand. Seat of prana in the body where the breath begins, and the place to where the breath returns as you exhale. And just take a few moments to connect to the breath in the center of the chest. Your chest is slightly lifted and your chin is down and your gaze is into the center of the chest. And then when you find that place, add on the ujjayi sound to the breath. Little constriction at the base of the throat, hissing sound as the breath moves in, as the breath moves out. And we'll start with Hasta Vinyasas, different spinal positions and opening the lungs. Inhale, arms wide and overhead. Interlock your fingers, push your palms up, flip your palms, lift. As you lift up, bring the chin down more and bring your arms back, stretch through your shoulders and your lungs. Begin the exhale, lower slowly, wide and down. Begin the breath before you move. Inhale, raise the arms. Ujjayi is smooth. Lift, lift, lift. Lift out of the hips, ground the feet. Begin the exhale, lower the arms. Third vinyasa, inhale, widen overhead. Lift, lift through the back of the lungs. Exhale, widen down. And then forward and up, palms facing down. Inhale. Top of the movement, press down through the inseams of the feet, stretch up through the fingers. Stretch the back of your lungs. Begin the exhale, lower the arms, forward and down. One more time. Pause at the top, stretch a little more, chin down a little more. And then Parsvabhangi, side stretch, bending the spine sideways. Inhale, bring the arms wide and overhead. Chin down, lift. Exhale, lean to the right, lift the chin, look straight ahead. Inhale, center, chin down, lift. Exhale to the left, lift the chin, look straight ahead. Move the hips to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Hold. Inhale. Long exhale. Go to the end of the exhale. Hold the breath out. Lift perineum. Lower abdomen in and out. Mula Dhyana Bandha. Release bandhas. Inhale, center, chin down. And exhale, left. Same thing, a short inhale when you get there. Feel the right lung expand. And then a long exhale when the lungs are empty. Narrow the waist, lift the perineum, pause. Stretch a little more. And then release the bandhas before you inhale and come up. Lift, chin down. And exhale, arms wide and down. Interlock the hands behind your back. Or bring your hands into reverse prayer. Or hold your opposite elbow. Exhale. Firm the legs. Squeeze the buttocks. As you inhale, arch back. Lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, head back, gaze tip of nose. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, arch back, push the heart up. So the inhales are deep now. Exhale, stand up. Keep the gaze on the tip of the nose so you don't get dizzy. And then inhale, arch back. We're going to hold for a breath. Exhale there. Inhale. Push the heart up. Exhale, slowly stand up. Inhale, arms shoulder level. Arms like wings. Exhale, twist to the right. Keep a straight line through the arms. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Look at the back hand. Stretch through the arms. Inhale, center. And exhale, right. And stay. Look at the back hand. Nudge the right hip forward. Inhale. Feel the breath come up into the top of your right lung. And then long exhale. When you get to the end of the exhale, hold the breath out. Bandhas. Release bandhas. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Nudge the left hip forward. Ground the inseam of the left foot. Short inhale, long exhale, bandhas. Push down to both feet so you can feel the twist through your whole body, right to the base of your skull. When you're ready, release the bandhas and inhale to center. And then very slowly, chin down, arms down. Eyes closed, look heart, take a breath. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Inhale, arms widen overhead, flip your palms. Remember, you can also do this as you fold forward with a prayer over the heart if you have any back issues. Exhale, move the hips back, chin on chest, fold halfway. Make the toes go long. And then push into the feet. Inhale, come up with strong legs, arch back a little bit at the top. Exhale, fold halfway. And stay there. Inhale, arms wide like wings. Push the hips back more. Firm the legs more. Arms wide like wings. Breathe. Chin down, look navel, and keep drawing the lower abdomen in at the end of each exhale. On the next inhale, bring your arms forward, flip your palms, arms in line with the ears, firm the legs, and come up. Inhale. Arch back a bit at the top, keep the chin down. Exhale, fold all the way. You can hold the legs or take the big toes. Actually, today, just walk your feet about hip distance apart. Take hold of the legs or the toes, and then inhale and look up. Keep your feet parallel. And exhale and go down. And inhale or look up again, lengthen your spine. And don't move as you exhale. When the lungs are completely empty, fold forward. Bring the hands inside the legs and hold the same heel with the same hand. Or the same leg if you can't reach the heels. And then inhale, look up again. And then exhale by drawing the elbows out. Draw the chest down, round the back. Look, nose tip, 3 breaths. And make the exhale about twice the length of the inhale. Bring your feet a bit wider apart, Jose. When you've done your 3 breaths, you can flip your palms and then inhale up. And then when you're ready, we'll meet in Tadasana. Very nice. Move towards the front of your mat for sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. Inhale. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, widen overhead. Flip your palms. Lift. Exhale, fold forward slowly. Remember to pause at the end of the breath. Hands on the floor, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale. Exhale, squat down. Round the back, forehead towards the knees, heels may rise. Curl into a little ball. Short inhale. Hold the breath. Hop or step back. Chaturanga. Knees down, half chaturanga. Fully exhale in chaturanga. All the way to the floor. Full prostration. Hands in prayer. Feet together in prayer. Hands back beside the chest. Lift up, fully exhale in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, move forward. Shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a normal inhale. Take a long exhale. Hold the breath out. Hop or step forward. Utkatasana, squat down. Completely empty the lungs. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold. Flip the palms. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Okay, we'll do one with mantra. Stand Tadasana.